What's going on, fans of the CPC? Jolt of the Token Minorities here with the Week 3 Power Rankings. Now, once again, we had several solid matches throughout the week. If you haven't seen these matches yet, then, well, you're not alone because I haven't seen half of these yet either. So, a lot of these rankings today are going to be based upon the results that I've been given, as well as just a few battles that I've actually seen personally while they happen. It's been a heck of a week, let me tell you. But, with that in mind, be prepared for probably the fastest Power Rankings video you've ever watched in your life. And we'll just kind of see if I can pull that off. But let's just go ahead and jump right on into this. So at number 16, I have the Manhattan Mudkips. They are 0-3. They lost this week again to the Maville Mighty Hyenas, and nothing really else to say there. He needs to start winning before he can move himself up in the rankings. And then at number 15, we have the Florida Alligators, again an 0-3 team. They are down 2 spots from last week, losing this week to the St. Louis Reshiram's. They are one of 2 winless teams, Manhattan being the other one. So, Florida does need to start winning games before they can move up in the power rankings as well. He's a solid player. I just don't think he knows how to use his team yet, and so far that is hurting him this season. At number 14, we have the Arizona Dactyls. They are 1-2. They picked up their first win this week against the Golden State War Turtles, so congrats to him for that. But that said, there's several 1-2 teams this week, and I can't really move him up any more than I already did this week. I moved him up 1 position this week from number 15 to number 14, but I cannot put him any higher until he starts to pick up more wins, perhaps against stronger competition. And then at number 13, we have the San Antonio Sparse. They lost this week to the previously winless Connecticut Crocodiles. So congratulations to Shadow for picking up the win against the San Antonio Sparse this week. But unfortunately for San Antonio, that does mean they have to move down in the rankings, and they need to start picking up some wins against quality competition before they can move up much higher. At number 12, we have the Connecticut Crocodiles. Already mentioned them here. They won against the San Antonio Sparse this week, and that's their first win. I moved them up now from number 14 or number 13, wherever they were last week. I believe they were number 14. They were 14 last week, moving them up to number 12. And then in the 11th slot, we have the Golden State War Turtles, coached by Prado. They lost this week to the Arizona Dactyls, so they are down a few positions from last week. Not a good loss, definitely not a good loss considering Arizona was previously winless. But that said, I still think that they are approximately a middle-of-the-road team and therefore reside at number 11. For number 10, we have the Atlanta Braviaries, coached by Trev. They lost in a very close game to Chimpac's Philadelphia Scissors. That's why I have Trev still near the top of the 1-2 teams. He is 1-2 as well. I don't like his team, as I mentioned many times before, or his draft rather, but that said, he's an excellent player. He played Chimpak down to the very end, and he finds himself at number 10. And then at number 9, we have the Brisbane Breloos, coached by Aberforth. They lost this week to a solid Duford Drapion's team. Not a whole lot else to say there. It was a very good match. It was a very close ending, and unfortunately for Aberforth, he finds himself now at 1-2 with 2 really tough losses this season. So we're already halfway through this. Let's go ahead and jump on to number 8. We have the Duford Drapions, who defeated the Brisbane Breloos. I believe these 2 teams are really the definition of the middle of the road, and honestly, I would say that if these guys played back to back to back, it could swing either way in a best-of-3 series, so it's not surprising at all to see them at 8 and 9 here. And then at number 7, we have the Emerald City Melodics, coached by Sam. They lost this week to the powerful Sydney Sharpedos, coached by Gypsy, so, not really surprising to see a loss there considering the caliber of player that Gypsy is, but that is his first loss. He is forced to move down a couple positions because of teams above him that won this week. At number 6, we have the St. Louis Reshiram's, coached by Matty Brolick. They won this week against the Florida Alligators in a pretty decisive game. As per the usual, Matty's prep really came through here this week, and Top Tier Boy really hasn't become comfortable with his team at all yet, and St. Louis really was able to take advantage of that and come out with a nice win this week. So then at number 5, we have the Maville Mighty Hyenas, and they won this week against the Manhattan Mudkips. So now Maville is 3-0, but they're still at number 5 in my rankings, and that's because I don't believe they've played anybody in my top half right now, and they've only beaten 3 teams from the bottom half. So they need to beat somebody in the top half before I can push them above the 4 teams that are currently above them, which I'll go ahead and show now, being number 4, the Arizona Carvanas. They lost this week. They were my number 1 last week. They lost to the Detroit Butterfrees, my preseason number 1. So no surprise there technically, but it really was a very good match. Came down to the very end. I believe it was a bulky Mega Houndoom that actually saved the day there on the last turn, where if Togavor went for a close combat with Lucario, he actually would have outsped the Houndoom and taken it out, but instead he thought it was an offensive Houndoom, therefore going for an extreme speed, and that inevitably was the end of Togavor that game, as Iron Flash Gaming was able to pull out the nice close win. So at number 3, I do have the Detroit Butterfrees, coached by Iron Flash Gaming, with that nice win against the Arizona Carvanas. And then for number 2, we have the Philadelphia Scizors, coached by Chimpact, defeating the Atlanta Braviaries this week in a very good match. Chimpact does have that one loss due to a forfeit early in the season, but they don't have a legitimate loss yet this season, so they find themselves at number 2. And then finally at number 1, wrapping up this very quick Power Rankings video, we have the Sydney Sharpedos, coached by Gypsy King, coming off of a decisive victory against the Emerald City Milotics. They are sitting at 3-0. They are the only 3-0 team to have defeated top-level competition. Congratulations to Gypsy King. You are the number 1 team for Week 3. So, thank you very much for watching. This has been the fastest Power Rankings in Draft League history, and I hope you did enjoy. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and a comment below. Let me know what you think about these rankings, and make your own rankings as well as if you want to. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all in Week 4 with hopefully a more detailed Power Rankings video. Peace.